Right, hello lads and lasses, and welcome back to Boys Down Underwear. Today, as you can tell by the title, we are looking at young Celtic player Scott Robertson and whether he can make an impact at Celtic heading into the final year of his contract. Before we go any further though, if you guys are enjoying the content, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. The support recently has been insane, so let's keep it up. We're trying to hit 3,000 subscribers before Ange Ball returns, so I greatly appreciate all of you who do help. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, slow news day, nothing really to talk about, but what has, or should I say who has, popped into the headlines is young Celtic player Scott Robertson, and him talking about, heading into the final year of his Celtic contract and how he's going to try and force his way into this Celtic squad. Now, Robertson has always been held in a high regard at Celtic, from a young age he's came through the academy, and with entering his final year, of a 3-year deal that was signed in 2020, he hasn't really had he's practically had no game time at all in his time at Celtic, but he's hoping this year he can secure himself a contract extension at Celtic. Now, to this day, like I said, he's had almost no game time at all. He's made one appearance for the club, and that was against Cluj in the Europa League. And since that loan move, he's only been going out on loan. He's made appearances for Doncaster, Gillingham, and most recently Crewe Alexandra. And it's fair to say, most recently, he has been impressive, this year at Crewe, coaches and analysts were labeling him head and shoulders above of his teammates in terms of ability. And Robertson himself agrees with the statement, saying, "At the start of last season, I managed to play 13 or 14 full games for Crewe, and it's the best I've felt. I felt I had arguably been their best player. It's that belief which can help me kick on next season." And if anyone thought confidence was an issue for this lad, the kid has an abundance of it. He believes in his ability to the bone, telling the Daily Record he is good enough to play for Celtic. He made that statement, and he's adamant that he can put himself into this team. And you have to be confident. Of course you have to be confident, because there's no point in playing football if you're not going to be confident in what you're doing and you have no self-belief. So as a midfielder, he primarily plays the box-to-box role, but he's also, he's very versatile. He can cover in the attacking mid-role, the defensive mid-role. But that versatility, it's great and all, but in a midfield where it is absolutely jam-packed and highly contested, I'm not sure how much use it's going to be. Look at who we've got. Callum McGregor is irreplaceable, so that's already one spot already used up. Then you've also got Reo Hatate, Yasuki Itaguchi, David Turnbull, James McCarthy, Matt O'Reilly, hopefully not Ismail Osoro anymore, but still, it's tight. The competition for places is tight. And, I think we can expect at least one more player to sign for the club. Most likely right now it is going to be Christopher Scott from Bayern Munich. So it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a real dogfight for Scott Robertson to put himself and force himself into this Celtic team. And at 20 years old, it's make or break for his Celtic career. If he fails to earn a new contract, that's it. That's going to be the end of it. But he is positive he can make an impact, and in the same Daily Record interview, he was talking about the dialogue he's had with Ange on his return from injury, saying, "The manager has been brilliant with me. When I returned to Lennoxtown after the surgery, he was talking with me. Every step of the way, he's been checking in to make sure everything is going okay. He hasn't really spoken much about football. It's all been about my recovery. And that's great to hear, as it's encouraging going into the new season." Now, here's where things get brutally honest. And purely looking at the facts. The facts are that Celtic's midfield is stacked. Can't sugarcoat it. We have an abundance of talent in the midfield. And the midfield is so stacked that even if injuries occur to some of our starters, they're easily replaced by players who are on the bench week in, week out. And look, while, you know, a lot of people, and himself included, Robbo included, he compares the situation to that of Tony Ralston. You know, Tony Ralston had it completely different. You know, he was the only right back at the club in a time, and he was forced to step up and to take that spot and make it his own, which he did incredibly well. But Robertson is in the midfield where he is going to get maybe one opportunity, and if he fails to, you know, if he fails to impress on that one opportunity, I think it's done for him. And do I want him to succeed? Yes. You know, it's clear that I never want to wish the downfall upon a player at Celtic. That is just not the way to go about things, especially players who have came through the Celtic Academy and who have, you know, been, I don't know, just homegrown talent. And look, how much of a chance is Ange going to give him? Well, we'll find that out during preseason. You know, words can go only a very short way, and it's actions that speak louder than words. If he doesn't impress in preseason, I think we're going to see him go out on loan and see his contract run out. If he impresses in preseason, you know, maybe we might see him stick around for longer. Maybe he might force himself on the bench. You know, I don't think he could really start in this team right now. I think there's way better options. You know, I think if he's primarily the box-to-box midfielder, I think Rio Hatate is miles ahead of him in the pecking order, you know. And even then, you've also got David Turnbull, who I also believe is miles ahead of him right now. But, you know, he's doing all he can. He's putting in the hard yards. He's training. He's getting himself ready for preseason. So when it is time for him to make an impact, he has the capability to do so. Because look, that's all he can do. And now, I do have to make a final overall judgment because, you know, otherwise this video would be a complete waste if I didn't, you know, actually make a judgment on whether I think he could make it at Celtic. I don't think it will happen in my eyes. You know, I really do hope, and I really, you know, I have high hopes. Not high hopes, but I do have my fingers crossed that he will be able to, you know, make an impact, because it's something about the academy players. You know, they've just came, they've put in the hard yards. They dream of playing for Celtic. You know, I want to see those type of players at this club and succeed at this club. You know, but I just don't think it will happen. I like I said earlier, I think he'll either stay as a reserve team player, or he'll go out on loan, and then upon his contract expiring, he'll either sign for a new club or he'll enter the free agency. You know, but like I said, I really do hope he can earn himself a contract extension and prove me wrong, because, yeah, it's a great thing to see, seeing the academy players do well at the club. But yeah, no, the facts, they make the situation look the odds are not in Scott Robertson's favour, but best of luck to him. And that is all from me. So if you guys did enjoy this video, you know, bit of an odd video considering there was no news, but thought we might as well talk about one of Celtic's fringe players and heading into the final season. Leave your thoughts in the comments below about Scott Robertson, and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, hail, hail.